it's literally now or never, or we'll be trapped off the west coast, so we need to get through this without pretty much dying. I haven't looked at it in full drive yet. As soon as I start slipping, I will. As treacherous as towing gets.
Very scary. It's like dodging bullets left, right and centre.
Such thing as Mountain Dew.
Proper snowing. Fishing rod, I need a fishing rod.
Dead centre of New Zealand. I'm Keelan and this is Sarah. We have been fishing, surfing, full driving our way around Australia for the past year now. Meet Percy and Keith Urban, our trusty steeds. Subscribe to join our adventure. In this episode, we make our way past Haas Pass, which is one of the most hectic roads in New Zealand, up the west coast, and finish in Picton. Oh no, you can now, you can see it. It's snowing.
Can't believe it. Oh look, see? So we're doing the Blue Pools walk right now, and it is proper snowing. It's like full on, like you can catch them. It's so cool. We've been waiting to get some snow, so this is like epic. So cool.
Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be.
Walking through this bloody forest, we just ran into people that watch our YouTube channel, which is so super strange. There was two cars in the car park, and it turns out the other car watched us, which was crazy. But we're about 500 meters left to go. We're walking through this forest, this mossy tree forest, and it is still snowing in the forest. It's amazing. Reminds me of Canada so much, and it feels like I'm off the movie The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, I feel like a big grizzly bear is going to jump out of the woods and smash me, but definitely not in the same right continent. But we're almost there, so we're going to keep trekking. Apparently Blue Pools is amazing, so let's go check it out.
It's a bit wobbly.
It's very wobbly.
Very.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
Freaking out. Oh, there's another one over there. There's massive, I don't know if they're salmon trout or salmon or whatever they are, but they're massive. I don't know if you guys can see this, but look down here. See them swimming in the shallows there? Can you see that on the camera?
Yeah. I'll zoom in.
Zoom in on it. It's massive. That's probably like a 5 kilo fish, I reckon. No mayo on that either. That's a big dog.
Huge.
Wonder what bloody lures they take out.
I don't wanna go waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. Can you hear me, babe? I'm lonely. I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk.
We're just walking along the bank here at the Blue Pools, and I found this green stone. I don't know if that is Pinamu
Yeah, it's Pinamu.
or not, but it looks like it. I do not know if the GoPro is picking that up, but it's proper snowing, like fully snowing.
What if it's too late for me now? What if you gone to someone else, so we can never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills.
Alright, so we've just gotten to the Blue Pools, and the whole way down since we saw those trout, Keelan's like, I need a fishing rod, I need a fishing rod. Like, I wonder if the people at the campsite will lend me one. And I'm thinking, like, this is a national park, surely you can't fish. Anyway, it's been confirmed. It says please refrain from fishing. So
That's not a no.
yeah. But it says that large rainbow and brown trout is what's swimming in here, and they migrate up from the river in Makarora and Lake Wanaka. So that's what fish are.
Big rainbow.
Can I make up for my sins?
rain.
What was that?
It's really bad rain. So we're just cruising up the pass. This one's called Haas Pass. We couldn't cross yesterday because of all the snow, but we've just got on the pass now and it's freaking hectic. Like, we're going straight up at the moment and we're driving on ice. So if I hit the brakes right now or lose momentum, we'll pretty much spin out. Ice on the road. I don't know if you guys can see that. The reason we're doing it today is because the weather outlook for the rest of the week looks even worse. We couldn't do it yesterday because it was snowing, and there's still snow on all the trees. So it's literally now or never, or we'll be trapped off the west coast. This pretty much affects our whole trip today, so we need to get through this without pretty much dying and spinning off the tracks. It sounds dramatic, but it's literally pretty hairy, towing up these hills. I'm doing 40 k's an hour. I haven't looked at it in full drive yet. As soon as I start slipping, I will, but check it out. This snow's out of control. Alright, I've just pulled over here. We're at the top, and it is ice all over the road. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but that's just all ice. And obviously we're towing the van through this stuff. There's snow on all these trees. And yeah, like, it is freaking steep. There's signs everywhere saying it's going to get even steeper. I think this is the top, I'm not too sure, but check it out. It is as treacherous as towing gets. It's insane, but like I said, we have no other choice but to do it today. It's the most favourable day on the forecast, and we knew this would happen. We prepared for it, and like I said, I'll lock it in full drive if I have to. I'll be using the automatic transmission to hopefully gear brake down these hills a little bit, take the foot off the brake, but thank God we've got disc brakes and a heavy Ranger to tow this 3-ton van. But I don't even know if you guys can see all the ice and stuff here, but yeah, it's bloody hectic. So I'm gonna get back in now and have a bit of a crack.
Okay, so we have made it to Fox Glacier safely. Yesterday was honestly one of the most hectic days we've had on our trip so far. The day before, obviously it was like snowing and a bit of a blizzard, so we stopped in Makarora. And thank God we didn't drive that afternoon, because when we drove Haas Pass yesterday, it was still icy and there was still snow all on the sides, like you would have seen in the footage. It was very scary. Keelan did such a good job. Like, I won't lie, I was freaking out, and I feel like Keelan was low-key freaking out but trying to stay calm for me. But we got through, and then this morning it turns out the Haas Pass is actually closed because of ice on the road. So us driving it yesterday afternoon was probably really risky, but yeah, I don't know, we just went with the information we were being told, and locals sort of said you'll be right driving it this afternoon. weather's supposed to be better. The rain would have washed away some of the ice, so we thought that we would have been alright. But yeah, here we're safe. Today it's closed. Yesterday we also nearly got stuck on the Haas Pass because a tree fell down over the power lines. So there was that. We feel like we're just like dodging bullets left, right and centre. But we're here. We're on the other side of Mount Cook. It's one of these mountains behind us. We're not sure which one.
I think it's that one, eh? Yeah.
And we're going to go have a look at Lake Matheson. Apparently it's got some of the most beautiful reflections in New Zealand, so we'll see that. The weather has cleared up for us. It was like a thunderstorm last night, so loud, so scary, but it's cleared up. We're going to go look at the lake, and hopefully we'll also be able to see the glacier from there.
Alright, so what Sarah said before about like having to do it yesterday probably wasn't the best decision. Like, well, obviously we're tourists. We did our due diligence, I think that's how you say it. It's one of them tongue twisters, but pretty well. We spoke to locals, we checked the weather reports. It was meant to get better. The locals said all the ice was going to wash away. However, that wasn't the case. You guys obviously saw the ice and the black ice on the road, which is the number one leading thing to accidents on these roads because they are so steep. As soon as you start slipping, you're going to go off the cliff. So anyway, we spoke to the locals, we checked the weather reports. It said open, everything was open. It just said cautious, maybe ice, but then you speak to the locals, they say, nah, it never snows up there. So what do? Like, you just got to go. And obviously we've never driven these roads before, so we're not sure what the roads are like. So before you blitz us in the comments saying that we're being irresponsible, we did everything we literally could to ensure our safety, and obviously sometimes even that's not enough. So
and we've looked back and we've reflected on our...
No, it isn't a bad decision. Like, we made it, and I drove the road as well as I could, did everything right, gear braked. As soon as I started slipping, I'd put it in four-wheel drive. I tried to do everything with this 3-ton load behind us, but obviously we made it. But before you guys blitz us in the comments saying we're being irresponsible, like, we tried everything we physically could. We did the best job we could, and it was definitely worth it, because today, if we had waited another day, we wouldn't be here at Fox Glacier and Matheson. So we're going to do Franz Josef today, which is another glacier. And yeah, we've got Mount Cook in the background, which is pretty cool. So geographically, we're just on the other side of the island. So it's funny, 2 weeks ago, we were literally only 30 k's inland from here. So what a spin out. Anyway, let's go check out Lake Matheson.
Kiwi Birds, that's on the bucket list. Hopefully we see one. I don't know how rare they are though.
I think they're rare as.
This is white pine or kahikatea. Kahika. White pine, and they grow up to 60 metres, and they're New Zealand's tallest tree.
Check it out.
Insane. So tall.
Can't even see the top. Doesn't get any fresher than this. There's such thing as Mountain Dew. That Mountain Dew isn't the real Mountain Dew. This is the real Mountain Dew. So good.
You're gonna get the shits now.
Look, it's a bit brown, but it tastes really fresh though, like really fresh.
Cold?
Yeah, and it's cold. Cheers, nature. So we just finished up the walk there at Matheson's Lake. Safe to say it was spectacular. No Kiwi Birds though, which is a bit of a bummer. So we're on to Franz Josef's Glacier. There definitely won't be any Kiwi Birds up in the alpine there, but it's worth a shot. Definitely bring a cup down for these walks. Don't bring a water bottle, because you can just fill your bloody cup up anytime you feel like a bit of a hydration session. Drink straight the Mountain Dew straight from the mountain. So that's a nice little handy tip for you. It's a little hack for Queensland, for New Zealand hikes. So let's hit the road.
Alright, so we're at Franz Josef Glacier walk now. This one is an easy 30 minutes, which we're very, very, very happy about. That little walk around Lake Matheson took it out of us this morning, but we're both feeling a little bit groggy just from like the...
We haven't had any grog.
Just from the bad weather last night. I don't think we slept properly, so we're a bit So if we're there, we're going to be able to see it all the way up there. 3,000 metres.
Feel like we're in the Bahamas, baby. Alright, so we just got down to Franz Josef's National Park hike, and I'm here with Dave. Thanks for having us, Dave. Firstly, such a pleasure to be in New Zealand, mate. Can tell that you're an avid fisherman from your bucket hat. Where can I catch a rainbow trout? Thanks, Dave.
Dave's a bit quiet.
Dave's very quiet. He's a bit shy in front of the camera, this bloke. But I can tell he's into his Nickelback that he probably showed you. Look at this photograph.
Maybe his name actually is Dave.
Safety Dave. Anyway, you're not allowed to go past this point, but we can't quite see the glacier, which is funny. We've just done this hike, and you can't even see much. The glacier apparently up there.
It's beautiful.
So, it was a nice little hike. We've still got these beautiful waterfalls. Because of all the weather we've just had, the massive storms, we're getting some crazy waterfalls, but check it out. Old mate Dave here's got a pretty good spot today. He gets to just keep watch about this nice area here, but yeah, danger. Do not go past this point. So they're saying because of global warming, overpopulation and the higher CO2 levels, that's why the glacier has receded. 1908, this is where the glacier actually finished. So you can see how much ice has actually melted all the way back.
Alright, so we're getting ready to leave Hokitik here. But the weather has thrown a spanner in the works. There is another pass that is actually closed. I think it was the Lower Gorge Buller Road?
Yep.
Or something like that. So that's the road that we need to take to get up the west coast and then also across when we want to go skiing. So at the moment we're thinking, do we keep going up the west coast, meaning that we would have to go up the west coast and then turn around, drive back 2 hours to then get back across? Or do we skip it, come back to it another time, and then just make our way across and then head to the ski fields? It's sort of like, do we do what we had planned because we just want to see it, but the weather's going to be like this, raining the whole time?
And it's a bit dangerous.
Yeah. Or do we just say, alright, now is not the time, let's just skip that, go across the other side and spend more time at the snow? So we're in a little bit of a predicament. We're sort of like just been sitting in the van all morning, like, what do we do? Checking road conditions, yeah.
It's like thunderstorms outside and it's torrential rain.
We were saying last night, like, oh, how stable is this van? Like when you walk around in the Armalite, it does move, you know, it's a single axle. But in this big thing, Keelan's like, poof, 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 and it just like doesn't even move. But this morning, the wind has been so hectic that it's literally shaking this van. Like, it's crazy outside. So yeah, we're in a predicament.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is the map of the South Island and what the weather has done to the road system. So literally there's road closures everywhere. All these little symbols either mean road closed or something bad's happened, like someone slipped off the edge of a cliff or something like that. And there's
or
like,
road works or something.
Road works.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like it's so hard to navigate this place because one, we don't know it that well. Like this is the first time we've ever been here, so knowing which roads to go and which are the good roads and stuff, we just don't know. And then when you're trying to navigate through all the different road closures, you're like doing like 2-hour detours just to get around these passes that are closed. So we're not too sure what we can do at this stage. Like, I guess safety point of view is probably paramount. Obviously we had plans to do the whole island, and this weather's unseasonal from what we hear from locals. Like normally it does get this bad, but obviously in the middle of winter, not right at the start. So we don't know whether we just risk it for the biscuit or if we come back another time and do the whole island, because at the moment we're looking at not doing this top left hand side of the South Island, pretty much going up to Picton, and then we'll turn down and just go back down to Christchurch and then go to Mount Hutt for a ski. We're just not too sure yet, so we're going to see how today goes. Just play it by ear. We're not even sure where we're going to stay tonight, but we can't do Roy's Peak, we couldn't do, which is Otago. We couldn't do Fox Glacier yesterday because it was closed. All these different hikes. Sarah wanted to do this gorge here in this town. What's this town called? Hokkita. There's a Hokkita, or whatever it's called, gorge. We can't do that now. We're not complaining, we're not whinging. It's just we have to sort of weigh up our options and what we can and can't do, and if it's worth it.
And it gives you guys a little insight into the reality of travelling, you know? Like, we don't want to just show you that it's so easy to travel and everything goes to plan, because things don't go to plan.
Yeah. So this is that road Sarah was talking about. There's been a slip off Upper Buller Gorge Road, and that's the road we had to take to get up north. And obviously that's closed. So when they say slip, normally it means someone slipped off the edge of the bloody cliff. So, which sort of seems to me like there's ice maybe on that pass. So all these other passes that we're going to do have ice as well, and we're going to see how we go today. Bringing you guys along with us.
Our way up to Nelson, and we're about to go to the centre of New Zealand. So we're down here, we're going to hike up the top there to the viewing platform, and that will officially be the centre of New Zealand. So let's go. This is bloody steep.
We both just saw this sign and we're like, 20 minutes. Centre of New Zealand's playing hard to get. You got to give it plenty of right jandle to get up this one. It's like really steep. Doesn't look that steep, especially if you're not very fit. It's very steep, but the weather's turned it on, and it feels like we're climbing the middle of Australia, which is Uluru. It's that freaking big, so let's go. So we made it. This is the dead centre of New Zealand. So if you took the North Island, the South Island, cut them in half, this is where it would cut. Straight through here, they reckon. Surveyed in 1877, so I'm not too sure how accurate this actually is. It might be a couple metres either side, but it's pretty cool to be right in the dead centre of New Zealand. You almost feel it. You can feel the power of that. Anyway, we're here. Check out the view behind it. It's insane.
So we've left Nelson and we're making our way up to Picton, and we've decided to take the scenic route. It's about 40 minutes longer, but I'm sure it'll be worth it. And this is just the start of the drive, and we're already like driving through beautiful like bays, so stunning. But we're on the way to Picton. Keelan's trying to find a wave. If there's no waves there, then we're going to head straight to the snow and go for a snowboard. So waves or snowboard.
So we just got into Picton. That road was unbelievable, really hectic, but unbelievable. Definitely recommend going the more scenic route. So these are the inter-islander barge boats that take you from South Island to North Island, vice versa. This is where they leave from Picton. This is pretty much pretty close to Wellington on the South Island, on the North Island, sorry. But we're going to cruise into town and hopefully get some lunch. But it's so stunning, this place. Like the water is like deep, sort of, I would say like an ocean green. Like it's not blue at all. And yeah, the greenery and the forests around it is just insane. The rainforests in New Zealand have blown us away. We never knew they were even here to this extent. So yeah, it's been amazing. Definitely chuck this one on your list. And so cool to see the barges coming in too. So let's go get some lunch.
So we've just gotten to Rarangi Beach, which is a little spot near Picton, and Keelan's about to go for a surf. He's very, very excited. So let's go check it out and see if it's any good.
unfortunately the surf wasn't very good. I literally got one wave and then came in. So there was locals here and they were trying to paddle out, and it looks like it's really easy to get out, but there's a lot of current moving. So people were literally putting their wetsuits on, getting their board, trying to paddle out, not being able to get out the back where the waves are breaking, and then just coming straight in. Luckily for me, I got lucky and punched out between the big sets. It was probably about 6 foot, about van height. And then yeah, got one wave, and there was like these big bull seals. I don't know if they were sea lions or what they were, but they were hanging around me, and I think one was a female and one was a male, but Sarah thinks it was a mum and a pup. Either way, the male's going to defend his female and think that I'm a threat, which I'm just trying to catch a wave. I don't care about your bloody sea lion mistress, but yeah, either way I was going to get smashed by this seal, I thought, and I just had this anxiety in my head, this impending doom. There's like trawlers out the back. I don't know if they're what they're fishing for, prawns, bloody tuna, I don't know what trawler it is, but it wasn't a very good vibe. The water's murky. I was out by myself and the waves were quite big, so came straight in, which was unfortunate because I was really keen for a surf, but we need to fuel up. We need to also charge up the batteries and find a dump point, so we might as well go book into a caravan park, treat ourselves to some nice hot showers. So that will conclude today's episode, guys. Thanks heaps for watching. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, drop us a like and a comment. We love hearing from you, and go check out this video. Cheers.